What if I told you that your blood vessels might not be clogged because of fat alone, but because of inflammation, oxidation, and sugar damage, and that certain fruits can actually help clean and protect them naturally? This isn't about fruit juice or sweet smoothies. I'm talking about very specific fruits, eaten the right way, that support healthy arteries, better circulation, and smoother blood flow. Most people think fruit is always healthy, but here's the problem. Many fruits are loaded with fructose, and excess fructose can damage blood vessels by increasing insulin resistance and inflammation. So if you're eating fruit incorrectly, you could actually be harming your arteries. But when you choose the right fruits, something very interesting happens. Your blood vessels become more flexible, nitric oxide increases, and plaque formation slows down. Let's start with berries, especially blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. These are some of the most powerful fruits for blood vessel health. They're extremely low in sugar compared to other fruits, but very high in polyphenols and anthocyanins. These compounds protect the inner lining of your arteries, known as the endothelium. When the endothelium is damaged, plaque sticks more easily and blood pressure rises. Berries help reverse that damage. They reduce oxidative stress, lower inflammation, and improve nitric oxide production, which helps blood vessels relax and open up. This improves circulation and reduces strain on the heart. Even a small handful a day can make a noticeable difference over time. Next, let's talk about pomegranate. This fruit is unique because it helps reduce arterial plaque buildup. Pomegranate contains powerful antioxidants called punicalagins, which help prevent LDL cholesterol from oxidizing. Oxidized LDL is one of the main triggers for plaque formation in arteries. When LDL stays unoxidized, it's far less damaging. Pomegranate also improves blood flow by supporting nitric oxide levels and reducing arterial stiffness. What's important here is not drinking sugary pomegranate juice from the store, but either eating the seeds or using a small amount of unsweetened diluted juice. Another incredibly effective fruit is avocado. Even though it's technically a fruit, most people don't think of it that way. Avocados are loaded with potassium, magnesium, and monounsaturated fats, all of which are essential for healthy blood vessels. Potassium helps counteract the damaging effects of sodium on blood pressure, while magnesium relaxes the smooth muscles in your arteries. The healthy fats in avocado reduce inflammation and help improve cholesterol balance by lowering LDL and raising HDL. This combination helps keep blood vessels smooth, flexible, and resistant to plaque buildup. Let's also talk about citrus fruits, especially grapefruit and lemon. These fruits are rich in vitamin C and flavonoids that strengthen blood vessel walls. Vitamin C is critical for collagen production, which keeps arteries strong and elastic. Without enough vitamin C, blood vessels become fragile and prone to damage. Citrus fruits also help reduce blood viscosity, meaning your blood flows more easily instead of being thick and sluggish. This reduces the risk of clots and improves overall circulation. The key is to consume citrus in moderation and avoid sweetened juices. One fruit that often surprises people is kiwi. Kiwi is very high in vitamin C and contains enzymes that help reduce platelet aggregation. That means your blood is less likely to become sticky and form clots. Kiwi also supports better blood pressure regulation and improves lipid profiles. Studies have shown that regular kiwi consumption can improve markers of cardiovascular health in a relatively short period of time. Now, here's something very important. Fruit alone will not clean your blood vessels if the rest of your diet is damaging them. If you're constantly consuming sugar, refined carbs, seed oils, and processed foods, no fruit will save your arteries. These fruits work best when combined with a low-sugar, nutrient-dense diet, adequate protein, healthy fats, and good mineral intake. Another key point is timing and quantity. Fruit should be eaten in small portions, ideally earlier in the day or with meals, not late at night. Overeating fruit, even healthy fruit, can spike insulin and slow down the benefits. Think of fruit as a tool, not a main calorie source. So if you want cleaner, healthier blood vessels, focus on low-sugar, antioxidant-rich fruits like berries, pomegranate in small amounts, avocado, citrus, and kiwi. These fruits reduce inflammation, protect the arterial lining, improve blood flow, and support long-term cardiovascular health. When used correctly, they don't just feed your body, they protect your arteries at the deepest level. If you found this helpful, Make sure to support your blood vessels every single day, because heart health isn't something you fix overnight. It's something you build consistently. Most people think blood vessels get clogged simply because of fat, but that's actually one of the biggest misunderstandings when it comes to cardiovascular health. The real damage to your arteries starts much earlier, long before plaque becomes visible, and it begins with inflammation and oxidative stress, damaging the inner lining of your blood vessels. This inner lining is called the endothelium, and once it's irritated, inflamed, or oxidized, plaque sticks to it like glue. That's where low-sugar, antioxidant-rich fruits become incredibly powerful because they don't just address cholesterol numbers, they protect the artery wall itself. When the endothelium is healthy, blood flows smoothly, pressure stays balanced, and cholesterol moves through without sticking. But when that lining is damaged, the body responds with inflammation. Immune cells rush in, LDL cholesterol becomes oxidized, and over time, plaque begins to form. This process is driven largely by excess sugar, insulin resistance, and free radical damage. That's why simply lowering fat intake doesn't fix the problem. You have to calm inflammation and neutralize oxidative stress at the source. Low sugar fruits are critical here because they provide powerful antioxidants without triggering blood sugar spikes. High blood sugar damages blood vessels in multiple ways. It stiffens arteries, increases inflammation, and creates advanced glycation end products which literally scar the blood vessel walls. When you repeatedly spike insulin with high sugar fruits or juices, you undo any potential benefit. That's why fruit selection matters more than most people realize. Take berries, for example. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries are some of the most potent foods you can consume for protecting arteries. They're loaded with polyphenols, especially anthocyanins, which are the compounds that give berries their deep red, purple, and blue colors. These compounds directly reduce oxidative stress in the endothelium. They neutralize free radicals before they can damage the artery wall, and they also reduce inflammatory signaling inside blood vessels. This means fewer immune cells stick to the artery lining, and less plaque gets the chance to form. Another powerful benefit of berries is their effect on nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is what allows blood vessels to relax and expand. When nitric oxide levels drop, blood vessels become stiff and narrow, increasing blood pressure and strain on the heart. Oxidative stress destroys nitric oxide, but antioxidants from low-sugar fruits help preserve it. This is one of the reasons people who regularly consume berries tend to have better circulation and healthier blood pressure over time. What's also important is that berries improve insulin sensitivity. When insulin resistance improves, inflammation drops across the entire body, including inside blood vessels. This creates an environment where arteries can repair themselves instead of continuously being damaged. This is not an overnight effect, but over weeks and months, the difference can be dramatic. Now let's talk about pomegranate, which is one of the most studied fruits for arterial health. Pomegranate contains unique antioxidants called punicalagins, which are especially effective at preventing LDL cholesterol from oxidizing. Oxidized LDL is far more dangerous than regular LDL because it triggers an aggressive immune response inside artery walls. When LDL stays unoxidized, it's much less likely to contribute to plaque. Pomegranate antioxidants also reduce existing oxidative damage, helping slow or even partially reverse plaque progression. Another key aspect of pomegranate is its ability to reduce inflammation markers in the blood. Chronic inflammation keeps arteries in a constant state of irritation, which accelerates plaque buildup. By calming that inflammation, blood vessels can begin to heal. The important thing to understand is that this benefit comes from the fruit itself, not sugary bottled juices. Whole pomegranate seeds or very small amounts of unsweetened juice are where the real benefit lies. Avocado is another low-sugar fruit that plays a major role in protecting blood vessels. Unlike sweet fruits, avocado has almost no impact on blood sugar, yet it's rich in antioxidants like lutein, along with healthy monounsaturated fats. These fats reduce inflammation and improve cholesterol balance. They help lower LDL while increasing HDL, which assists in removing cholesterol from artery walls. Avocados are also high in potassium and magnesium, two minerals that directly support blood vessel health. Potassium helps counteract sodium and reduces pressure inside arteries, while magnesium relaxes the smooth muscle surrounding blood vessels. This reduces tension and improves elasticity. When blood vessels remain flexible instead of stiff, plaque has a harder time forming and blood flows more efficiently. Another often overlooked benefit of avocado is how it helps absorb antioxidants from other foods. The healthy fats in avocado improve the absorption of fat-soluble antioxidants, making your entire meal more protective for your arteries. This makes avocado not just beneficial on its own, but a powerful enhancer of other nutrient-dense foods. Citrus fruits, when used correctly, also support the arterial lining. Lemons, limes, and grapefruit are rich in vitamin C and flavonoids that strengthen blood vessel walls. Vitamin C is essential for collagen production, which gives arteries their structure and elasticity. Without enough vitamin C, blood vessels become fragile and more prone to damage. Citrus flavonoids also reduce inflammation and improve endothelial function, helping arteries respond better to changes in blood flow and pressure. One of the reasons low-sugar fruits are so effective is that they reduce oxidative stress without feeding harmful pathways. High-sugar fruits and juices flood the bloodstream with fructose, which the liver must process. Excess fructose increases uric acid, promotes fat accumulation in the liver, and worsens insulin resistance. All of these effects increase inflammation inside blood vessels. Low-sugar fruits avoid this problem while still delivering protective compounds. Kiwi is another excellent example. It's relatively low in sugar and extremely high in vitamin C and polyphenols. Kiwi helps reduce platelet aggregation, meaning it makes blood less sticky. Sticky blood increases the risk of clots and contributes to plaque instability. By improving blood flow and reducing clotting tendencies, kiwi adds another layer of protection to your arteries. What's important to understand is that these fruits don't act like a medication that instantly cleans arteries. They work by changing the internal environment of your body. They lower inflammation, reduce oxidative damage, and support repair mechanisms. Over time, this environment makes plaque formation less likely and helps slow the progression of existing buildup. Another critical factor is consistency. Eating antioxidant-rich, low-sugar fruits once in a while won't undo years of damage. But when consumed regularly as part of a low-sugar whole food diet, they create a steady stream of protective compounds that your blood vessels rely on. This is how long-term arterial health is built. It's also essential to avoid pairing these fruits with damaging foods. Combining fruit with refined carbohydrates, seed oils, or sugary snacks cancels out many of the benefits. When blood sugar spikes repeatedly, oxidative stress increases and inflammation rises. Fruit works best when it's part of a nutrient-dense diet focused on whole foods, quality protein, healthy fats, and adequate minerals. So when we talk about cleaning blood vessels, what we're really talking about is protecting the artery lining from damage in the first place. Low-sugar, antioxidant-rich fruits do exactly that. They shield the endothelium, reduce inflammation, prevent LDL oxidation, and support better blood flow. This is the foundation of healthy arteries, and without it, no supplement or medication can truly fix the problem. One of the most overlooked factors in blood vessel health is flexibility. Healthy arteries are not rigid pipes. They're dynamic, living tissues that expand and contract with every heartbeat. When blood vessels lose this flexibility, blood pressure rises, circulation suffers, and the risk of plaque buildup increases dramatically. This is where certain fruits play a powerful role, because they don't just protect arteries, they actively help blood vessels relax and function the way they were designed to. At the center of this process is nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a signaling molecule produced by the cells lining your blood vessels, and its main job is to tell arteries when to relax. When nitric oxide levels are adequate, blood flows smoothly, pressure stays balanced, and oxygen and nutrients are delivered efficiently to tissues. But when nitric oxide production drops, arteries become stiff and narrow. This stiffness is one of the earliest signs of vascular dysfunction, even before plaque becomes a problem. Several things destroy nitric oxide: chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, high blood sugar, smoking, and nutrient deficiencies all reduce nitric oxide availability. When nitric oxide is depleted, the inner lining of blood vessels becomes irritated, blood pressure rises, and the risk of clot formation increases. Certain fruits help reverse this process by supporting nitric oxide production and protecting it from oxidative damage. Berries are again a standout here. The polyphenols found in berries directly stimulate nitric oxide production in the endothelium. They also protect existing nitric oxide from being broken down by free radicals. This double effect is extremely important. Not only are you making more nitric oxide, but you're preserving what your body already produces. Over time, this leads to improved arterial elasticity and better overall circulation. Improved blood vessel flexibility means blood can move with less resistance. This reduces strain on the heart and helps normalize blood pressure. Instead of forcing blood through narrow, stiff arteries, your heart can pump more efficiently. This is one of the reasons people who consume polyphenol-rich fruits regularly often see improvements in blood pressure without medication. Citrus fruits also play a key role in this process. Flavonoids found in citrus, such as hesperidin and naringenin, improve endothelial function. They enhance the ability of blood vessels to respond to changes in blood flow, a process known as flow-mediated dilation. This allows arteries to expand when more blood is needed, such as during physical activity, and contract appropriately when demand is lower. When this response is impaired, blood pressure becomes unstable and circulation suffers. Vitamin C in citrus fruits further supports nitric oxide by reducing oxidative stress inside blood vessels. Oxidative stress rapidly destroys nitric oxide, so by lowering free radical damage, vitamin C helps maintain healthy levels. This leads to smoother blood flow and less arterial tension. Pomegranate is another fruit that significantly improves blood vessel flexibility. Studies have shown that pomegranate consumption can reduce arterial stiffness and improve blood flow in individuals with cardiovascular risk factors. This effect is largely due to its potent antioxidant profile, which protects nitric oxide and reduces inflammation inside the arterial wall. As arteries become more flexible, blood pressure drops and circulation improves, even in areas where blood flow was previously compromised. Another important fruit in this category is kiwi. Kiwi supports blood vessel function in multiple ways. It's rich in vitamin C, potassium, and polyphenols, all of which contribute to better circulation. Potassium helps regulate fluid balance and reduces pressure inside blood vessels, while vitamin C supports collagen production for strong, elastic artery walls. Kiwi also helps reduce platelet aggregation, which means blood flows more smoothly instead of becoming thick and sticky. Avocado plays a unique role in improving blood vessel flexibility because of its fat and mineral content. The monounsaturated fats in avocado reduce inflammation and improve lipid profiles, which directly affects arterial health. Chronic inflammation makes blood vessels stiff and less responsive. By lowering inflammation, avocados help restore normal vascular function. Avocados are also rich in magnesium, a mineral essential for relaxing smooth muscle tissue. Blood vessels are surrounded by smooth muscle, and when magnesium is low, these muscles remain tense. This leads to narrowed arteries and increased blood pressure. Adequate magnesium intake allows these muscles to relax, improving blood flow and reducing strain on the cardiovascular system. Potassium in avocado also helps counteract excess sodium, which is one of the biggest contributors to vascular stiffness. When sodium intake is high and potassium is low, blood vessels constrict and blood pressure rises. Avocado helps restore this balance, supporting more relaxed, flexible arteries. What's important to understand is that blood vessel flexibility doesn't just affect blood pressure. It also influences how well oxygen and nutrients reach tissues. Poor circulation means organs and muscles don't get what they need, leading to fatigue, cold hands and feet, and slower healing. By improving nitric oxide production and arterial flexibility, these fruits help restore efficient circulation throughout the body. Another benefit of improved blood flow is reduced clot risk. When blood moves smoothly and vessels are flexible, platelets are less likely to stick together. Stiff arteries create turbulent blood flow, which increases the likelihood of clot formation. Fruits that improve endothelial function help maintain laminar flow, reducing stress on vessel walls and lowering clot risk. Timing and preparation also matter. These fruits are most effective when consumed whole and in moderate portions. Juicing removes fiber and concentrates sugar, which can counteract the benefits by spiking blood sugar and increasing oxidative stress. Fiber slows sugar absorption and feeds beneficial gut bacteria, which further reduces inflammation and supports vascular health. It's also important to pair these fruits with a lifestyle that supports nitric oxide production. Regular physical activity, adequate sleep, stress management, and proper hydration all enhance nitric oxide levels. When combined with antioxidant-rich fruits, the effects are amplified. Blood vessels become more responsive, circulation improves, and blood pressure stabilizes naturally. Over time, consistent support for nitric oxide and blood vessel flexibility can significantly reduce cardiovascular risk. This doesn't happen overnight, but the changes are measurable. Improved circulation, better blood pressure readings, warmer extremities, and increased exercise tolerance are all signs that blood vessels are functioning more effectively. So when we talk about fruits that clean blood vessels, what we really mean is fruits that restore normal vascular function. By increasing nitric oxide, reducing inflammation, and improving arterial flexibility, these fruits help blood vessels work the way they're supposed to. This creates smoother blood flow, less strain on the heart, and a much lower risk of long-term vascular damage. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to improve their blood vessel health is assuming that adding a few healthy foods will cancel out the damage from the rest of their diet. This is especially true with fruit. Fruits can be incredibly powerful tools for supporting circulation and arterial health, but only when they're used correctly. If fruit is eaten in excess, at the wrong time, or alongside foods that promote inflammation and insulin resistance, the benefits are greatly reduced or completely lost. The first thing to understand is that fruit is not neutral. Fruit contains natural sugars, primarily fructose, and while fructose from whole fruit is very different from refined sugar, it still needs to be handled properly by the body. When fructose intake is too high, the liver becomes overwhelmed. Excess fructose is converted into fat, increases uric acid levels, and worsens insulin resistance. All of these effects increase inflammation inside blood vessels, which is the exact opposite of what you're trying to achieve. This is why portion control is critical. Fruit should never be treated as a main calorie source. It's a support food, not a foundation. A small serving provides antioxidants, fiber, and protective compounds without overwhelming your system with sugar. When portions get too large, even low-sugar fruits can spike insulin and increase oxidative stress, especially in people who already have insulin resistance or metabolic issues. Timing also plays an important role. Fruit is best consumed earlier in the day or alongside a balanced meal that includes protein and healthy fats. Protein and fat slow the absorption of sugar, preventing sharp blood glucose spikes. Eating fruit alone, especially on an empty stomach or late at night, can cause rapid sugar absorption, leading to insulin spikes and increased inflammation. Over time, this pattern contributes to blood vessel damage rather than repair. Another major factor is what fruit is paired with. Combining fruit with refined carbohydrates, sugary snacks, or processed foods creates a metabolic environment that promotes inflammation. For example, eating fruit alongside pastries, white bread, or sweetened cereals causes a much larger blood sugar response than fruit alone. This surge in blood sugar increases oxidative stress and damages the arterial lining, canceling out many of the protective benefits fruit offers. Seed oils and processed fats are another problem. These oils are highly inflammatory and easily oxidized. When consumed regularly, they increase oxidative stress inside blood vessels. Pairing fruit with these oils undermines the antioxidant effect of the fruit itself. For fruit to truly support blood vessel health, it needs to be part of a diet centered around whole foods, healthy fats, and minimal processing. Fiber is another critical component that makes fruit beneficial rather than harmful. Whole fruits contain fiber, which slows sugar absorption, improves insulin sensitivity, and feeds beneficial gut bacteria. A healthy gut reduces systemic inflammation, including inflammation in blood vessels. This is why fruit juice, even when it's natural, is not equivalent to whole fruit. Juicing removes fiber and concentrates sugar, making it much more likely to spike blood glucose and increase oxidative stress. The gut microbiome plays a surprisingly large role in vascular health. Certain gut bacteria produce compounds that reduce inflammation and improve endothelial function. The fiber and polyphenols in whole fruits support these beneficial bacteria. When fruit is eaten as part of a balanced, whole food diet, it helps create an internal environment that supports healthy blood vessels from the inside out. Another important consideration is individual tolerance. Not everyone responds to fruit the same way. People with insulin resistance, metabolic syndrome, or blood sugar imbalances need to be especially careful with fruit intake. For these individuals, even moderate amounts of fruit can cause blood sugar spikes. In these cases, focusing on the lowest sugar fruits such as berries, avocado, and small amounts of citrus is essential. Monitoring how your body responds and adjusting accordingly is far more effective than following generic advice. Lifestyle factors also determine whether fruit will help or harm blood vessel health. Chronic stress, poor sleep, and lack of physical activity all worsen insulin resistance and increase inflammation. In this state, even healthy foods don't work as well. When stress is managed, sleep is adequate, and physical activity is regular, the body becomes much better at handling natural sugars, and the benefits of fruit are amplified. Physical activity in particular improves insulin sensitivity and increases nitric oxide production. This means that when fruit is consumed in an active lifestyle, the sugars are more likely to be used for energy rather than stored as fat. This reduces the inflammatory burden on blood vessels and allows antioxidants to do their job more effectively. Consistency matters more than intensity. Eating fruit correctly once in a while won't undo years of poor dietary habits, but consistently choosing low-sugar fruits, keeping portions moderate, and pairing them with a whole food diet creates a steady protective effect on blood vessels. Over time, inflammation decreases, endothelial function improves, and circulation becomes more efficient. It's also important to understand that fruit alone is not a treatment. Blood vessel health depends on many factors, including mineral balance, protein intake, healthy fats, and overall calorie control. Fruit works as part of a system. When the system is supportive, fruit enhances vascular health. When the system is damaging, fruit becomes just another source of sugar. So the real takeaway is this: fruits can help clean and protect your blood vessels, but only when used with intention. Choose low sugar options, keep portions small, eat them with balanced meals, and avoid pairing them with inflammatory foods. When fruit is integrated into a low sugar whole food lifestyle, it becomes a powerful ally for long-term blood vessel health instead of a hidden obstacle.